Hi, guys. So the last assignment that we completed was understanding that marketing decisions have to be made based on the consumer, okay, and what motivates that consumer and what their behaviors are like. So the assignment that we're going to do today, and it may take 2 days to complete, is an extension of that. And it derives from the same concept, but looking at ways that we can group consumers based off of those motivating factors, or based off of factors about them. And so some of this is generalizations that we make when we look at populations at large. Now, remember, it's not always accurate, but marketing segmentation is finding groups within a larger group. Okay. I like to think of earth science. I remember in 8th grade or 7th grade learning about segmented worms. And if you looked at their bodies, there were little segments that make up the big, their whole body. So it's kind of the same way. If I look at the market, we talked about cell phones. How many people have an iPhone compared to a Samsung? All right. If I look at that whole and I'm looking at individual pieces. In this case, though, we're going to be looking at market segmentations based off some certain factors. Okay. So let's just go ahead. Let me open that assignment and go ahead and look at that. Let me present my screen. We're going to look at the different categories of how we do segment the market and different groups that we find. So we'll get into the how you're going to show your work here in a second, but I just want to look at some of the different groups. So first we have demographics. And when we look at demographics, we're really looking at I like to say characteristics that people can't always change about themselves, or sometimes they can, but we'll look at it and you'll get a clear picture of what demographics are. Okay, so we can divide the market up by gender. Okay, so typically we have male and female. Now, remember at the beginning I said it doesn't always. Every female is not always interested in the exact same thing. And we know every male they're not all always going to be interested in the same things. But if we do generalities, then a lot of times marketers will divide the market up by gender, male and female. So for this assignment, the only two that you have to address are male and female. So when you are, I'll just go ahead and back up. What you're going to be doing is creating a booklet that is a collection of advertisements that are clearly traditionally marketing a specific segment of the market. Okay. So when you get to demographics, and if you're going to be on the page for gender in your booklet, then I want to see male and female. So I want two advertisements. They do not have to be related to each other in any way, but an advertisement that is specifically targeting females and an advertisement that is specifically marketing males. Okay. Then I want one for ages. You can kind of see an example here that my friend Miss Balul did for her students. So I want to see an advertisement, an actual advertisement. Okay, here she has just pictures for that when you're doing your assignment, actual advertisements. Okay, could be commercials, flyers, website, a social media advertisement, a coupon. Something that has words and text, pictures of the product, words, text, a message of some sort with it. But that is specifically trying to target from the layout that they use, the website that they're advertising on, the colors that they're using. I want to see that is being marketed to these groups. So we want to see a preschool toddler. So something from, I would say 5 and under. A product that is being targeted to them. My daughter, when she was little, she loved at Christmas time when the Target and Walmart books would come out with all the toys for the year. And she loved looking through that. And I would even give her a marker. She would circle what she wanted to ask Santa for. Then I want an advertisement that is for like that preteen age group, 6 to 12. Y'all may remember Justice. Everything in the store was sparkly, sequins, pink, just what, an 8-year-old would love. And so they have advertisements. You may think of, and I had a daughter. My daughter was my most recent in this age group, and my son too, certain aspects that are for 6 to 12-year-olds. But my daughter was real big into those American Girl dolls, and they would send her booklets every so often of things she could buy. Then I want you to find an advertisement that is being marketed specifically to teenagers. So maybe a first car, something with a first car, or electronics, gaming, different things like that for teenagers. And then college students, a lot of times your college students are going off to get their dorm, setting up their first dorm rooms. There's lots of advertisements for things like that. Laptops are a big thing for college students. So colleges spend tons of money advertising, and trying to get kids to pick their college. And then something for age 30 to 45. So you could think tools, cars, home decor, vacations, lots of things. And then 65 and older, I always think AARP. I always see their advertisements, although I'm not 65 and older. But think about products that are advertised to your older generation. It could be retirement. It could be insurance. It could be long-term facilities, retirement homes, vacations too, for your elderly. Okay. I hate to say elderly. 65 is not elderly, but it does say 65 and older. Okay. So that would be in your book for the ages. So you've got 2 for gender. Then you've got these different categories for your ages. And then next we have income. And so you're going to have just 2 here, something that is marketed for people that are budget conscious. It's probably always going to have the price listed there, because if I'm low to middle class, I care about the price. It could be an advertisement for Great Value brand, something. It could be homes. It could be, food, anything. Okay. But that's specifically for those looking for a good value. And then wealthier incomes, I think Rolex is never going to have a price on the ad, because people that can afford a Rolex don't care what the price is. All right. So that's what you're doing for these 2. Oh, another one that would be great for here is I see it on TikTok, where you resell your belongings. So then people that are looking for maybe name brand things but don't want to pay new prices, then they can buy yours used. I can't think of the website now, but that would be a great example too. Okay. Now we have segment by ethnicity. Now, I do want you to be careful here, because sometimes if you just Google, a certain ethnicity, and then there could be inappropriate things. I want you to be very careful here. But there are times where products are marketed specifically to a certain race or ethnic group. Obviously, one of the clear examples that I think of would be in hair products. So there are totally different products out there. And then they're typically in the advertisements marketed to that ethnic group. So for example, if you're thinking about shampoo or even products that we use in our hair, conditioning, it's going to be different. So whenever you get to that one, I am going to say here you only have to do 2. So these are just some examples. So just try to find at least 2 examples. And like I said, hair products are a very clear, easy product that we easily see is marketed by ethnicity. Okay. Then we have geographic. So that finished up our demographics. So demographics are when we're looking at age, gender, ethnicity, and then income. For geographics, this is where we're going to be looking at based off of where people live. Okay. So we have climate, and then we have just like city type. Okay. So if we're looking here for climate, I want you to think about products that are marketed for colder areas and then warmer areas. And this is super important because if I go to a Walmart in Florida, I'm going to find different products at different times than if I were to go to a Walmart in, let's say, Michigan. Okay. It would be unwise of Walmart to order as many snow shovels for a store in Florida as it does for a store in Michigan. Okay, so they have to be aware of this when they're doing their marketing. Likewise, someone might want to buy a swimsuit from Walmart in Florida in October, but they may not want to in Michigan, okay, unless they're traveling to Florida. So that's why climate is important for marketers to understand and when they're building their advertisements. And then I want you to think of advertisements for more rural areas. So, when I drive through a small country town in Arkansas, I typically see more trucks than I do in, let's say, downtown Little Rock. Okay. Downtown Little Rock, you're going to see maybe more compact cars for easier for parking. And then people who are driving a lot of miles to get to work downtown, they typically are looking at a different type of vehicle. So that's a great example. Vehicles are a good example for this, but it could also be shoes. I mean, there's tons of examples you could come up with here for your rural small town products, and then products for large cities. All right. Psychographics. This is more about beliefs, hobbies. That's what I'm going to set up here. Some of these things aren't always true. Just because you're a guy or a girl does not mean you're going to be interested always in the same products as other people. Because, for example, if you were a girl who was super into gaming, then that would go more into psychographics, because you could be interested in games that typically marketers may think boys play. But if you're a girl and you're interested in that, you would still want to have a ways to find information about that. So I like psychographics sometimes even better than demographics, because I feel like the way we think and believe sometimes are even more. So that's where I get into hobbies. But we'll stop and we'll go by career first. So there are some products that are segmented by career. So I want you to list at least 2 here. So 2 careers and products that would be marketed for that. For example, if you're in any factory, pretty much they require closed toe, sometimes steel toe shoes, all right, to protect your feet. And that's just something that you have to have. If you are in nursing or childcare, a lot of times they require scrubs. That's just expected, and there are full stores specifically. I mean, they have nothing in the store except for scrubs. Okay, so there's obviously a great demand for that, and so then again, it would be marketed that way. I, as a teacher, get tons of advertisements wanting me to use different websites and different, become a full subscriber. The app that we're using for this, the Book Creator app, again, a prime example, where they will advertise to me to increase my membership to like the ones that you have to pay for. And then hobbies. I want you to find 2 advertisements for a hobby that people may have. So, for example, the gaming industry is huge, and there's lots of advertisements out there for headphones, things like that. Okay. And then the very last one is behavioral, and that is segmented by use. So when we are buying things for occasions, the benefits sought, or even loyalty. So we think about birthday parties, that would be occasions. Christmas, this is huge. I want you to think about how early stores are putting out Christmas decorations for people to buy. Okay, so occasions are huge. I mean, and then before Halloween stuff is taken down, Christmas stuff is being put up. And then, of course, Thanksgiving is in there. And then as soon as Christmas is over, you're going to start seeing New Year's stuff. Well, but before Christmas isn't even over, obviously you're going to see New Year's stuff. Then you're going to see Valentine's. Then you're going to see St. Patrick's, 4th of July. I mean, it just keeps going. It never ends. Okay, so we are a society completely driven by occasions and feel the need to decorate and celebrate everything. Okay. But then there's also things such as benefits sought, and that's where. Okay, so I want you to put an advertisement for occasions, then an advertisement for benefits sought. And so that is where the advertisement isn't advertised to a specific age. It's not advertised to a specific race. It is advertised based on the benefits of the features of that product. I mean, to me, this is the wisest way to advertise, because most everyone, I don't care if I'm a guy or a girl. I don't care if I'm, old or young. If I'm buying a pair of headsets, maybe I want it because it offers noise canceling. Okay. I want those for my whole family. So if they're doing schoolwork, it's going to cancel out outside noises so that they can really focus on their work. And I'm buying that for the benefit, not because of any other factors. Okay, so tons, everything pretty much will advertise the benefits. So it should be really easy for you to find an advertisement that features the features of the product. Okay, they're highlighting those features that a product offers. And then the last one is loyalty, and this is where companies actually advertise based on this long-standing relationship with their customers. I think of Coca-Cola and their ads that they have for giving and helping each other out. And it's like it's this world where everybody's connected based off of Coca-Cola, and so they're based off of loyalty. I also think back to in my family, we've used the same toothpaste for generations, okay? Because that's the toothpaste I grew up on. So that's the toothpaste I still use to this day. Laundry detergent, kind of the same thing. Perfumes, anything like with scents and things, take you back to that time and place. Food, companies will do this. I could think of Campbell's soup has like these really great, like generation after generation, enjoying chicken noodle soup or tomato soup together. Oh, and there's a little candy that's like in a Werther's Original. You know, they do that where it's like the grandparent that's always offering that candy to their grandchild. So that's kind of what we're going through here. And then truck companies do this as well. You know, your family's always been a Chevy family. That's the only truck your family buys, you know, and then other families are Ford, you know, and they only buy Ford or Toyota, whatever it could be. So that's what loyalty is. So anyway, guys, when you finish, you can see here you got 15 pages, and then each page is going to have more than one picture on it.